Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Hey everybody, it's the Colts. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots.
From a venue that's been sold out since it opened back in 2002, there's a look at the home of the Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
And partner, sometimes it's good for a team to get the Thursday nighter right after a loss because you don't have very long to stew on what just happened. You have to turn right around, get ready, and go out and play again. Or, as one of the veterans told me, I actually like this because I can keep my anger for this short amount of time and take it out on the other team.
And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with a football. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, let's get sandwich.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And this defense is on the field right now and just looking to keep the momentum, the mojo going from a week ago.
Partner, this defense is full of confidence. They feel great about themselves, and they don't think anyone can move the ball on them now.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Check 13. Check 13. Hey, shoot. Mike 51. Coming after you. Coming after you. Mike 51. Mike 51.
Here's 2nd and 8. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that, and no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this, because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie. Mike 51. Mike 51. Danny. Mike 51.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Catch made here by Campbell. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's going to take this down close to the first as he's brought down at the Patriots 36. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go, set, 60 or. Hey, echo. 50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike. You must be getting tired of these.
They'll set up a throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 4. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. He's at the 40. 20. 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
On the set. Watch 57. Hey, Alpha. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Cut. 50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike. Coming to you. Coming to you.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He finds an opening past the 40. Campbell making the catch. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike.
2nd and 9 now. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now, second quarter, you're losing, you're not playing well, probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Needing a few yards. Here's Matthews. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter, 14-7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. Looking for Campbell downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on third down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
The Colts send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. Not good at all. Punted just 24 yards there. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. On first down, Mahomes. They'll find Everett there, complete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. So we have reached halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Out of the gun. Here's a give to Matt. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Mike 51. Let's go, D. Go, Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey, let's go.
2nd and 5. And this one's incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it. Don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Hey, high 7. 51's the money. 51's the money. Now.
Out of the gun now on third down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 19.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Look at me. Go. 2.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. This has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14.
57. Mike, 57. Watch the screen.
2nd and 14. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Let's go. Hey, exit. 51. 3 bud. 51's the mic. 51's let's go.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do. And
I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Getting in there to break that one up, Rock Ya-Sin.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. In his own end zone, it's Mahomes. And Mahomes is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
Okay, ready? 50 seconds, right? Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off. Team spill. Kill. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Rock it.
They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. The Colts on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Got an open man. That's Campbell. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
It doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll set up to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 24-yard line.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Then he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Matthews unable to hang on, and it's third down. New England on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Mahomes now to throw. And that is incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Got his man. That's Harry. And it is incomplete. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game. Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's good.
And to give this time to the tailback. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Ready?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one taken just inside the 10. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Working from the gun, Mahomes gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. We'll pick up there 5 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Trey Hendrickson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And, of course, this win, a big one. They can hang their hat on this victory on the road against the defending Super Bowl champs.
And you know how difficult it is for the team that wears the crown because they're going to get everyone's best shot. So let's face it, they circled this game. We're going to go in there and take down the defending Super Bowl champs. This is our opportunity. They're not going to walk out of here with a trophy today, but they will walk out with respect around the league. And to them, that's vitally important.
Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You should try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble.